Alright lads, so the new resurrection badge of the month of May is actually the Parasol banner. We did talk about it the other day when I gave my first reaction to the resurrections, and in today's video we'll be trying out the cards and see how exactly have they gotten better. Obviously, if you watched that last video, we're mainly going to be focusing on Nelliel here because she is the one that received a very good upgrade, but as we do with all resurrection videos, we have to cover every other character, so we are going to spend a few minutes talking about the Parasol version of NNOITORA and Szayelaporrro, who unfortunately didn't get the greatest of resurrections. So with that said, let's jump into a run. Alright, so we're just going to do our usual single player IZ quest. Now, Szayelaporrro, again, what you're going to see with him and NNOITORA is that even with a good resurrection, they wouldn't have been like that OP or anything like worthwhile using, because their strong attacks themselves aren't inherently anything great. His SA1 is a small AoE in front of him, and his SA2 is... like, what even is that? I totally forgot what it was. I believe it's just a range collision beam in front of him, right? And then his SA3 is a two-part attack, which we haven't received one of those attacks in a while, and it does appear to be close to full screen, but I don't believe it is. It might very well be. And you know, think about it now, gameplay-wise, he's alright. It's alright. It's definitely usable. It's something that, it's a kit that we haven't seen be used in a while, you know, for very good reason, right? It's not like the most ideal one, but, oh, that's what it is. Okay. Nah, that SA2 is terrible. His SA2 is the freeway attack. You're going to see here in a second. If we... oh, okay, we're taking bare hits here. Look at that. It does decent damage if they catch onto it, but the problem is they don't get caught onto it. So, what this character did receive with his resurrection, unfortunately, was anything too good. He picked up an extra 10% bruiser and an extra 10% devastation. So, for the most part, this character plays the exact same. Before resurrection and after resurrection, which really does suck because, again, this character with better skills would have been better. Havoc would have been great here, unfortunately, because as you saw a couple minutes ago as well, and just there, we are missing quite a bit with that SA1. SA3 with better range would have been nice too. I can't even remember, does this guy have Frenzy? I hope he does. I don't think he does. I might need to double check that. So he does actually have Frenzy, which is great for him. Not that much, but again, extra bit of damage output would have been nice, but unfortunately, with the way they do the resurrections, only giving certain resurrectable characters 7 skills, for example, he already has 7 skills. And that, unfortunately, does mean that he didn't get a new skill, which would have been, you know, Berserker, potentially. And unfortunately, that means all he got was an extra 10% Bruiser and an extra 10% Devastation, which, like I just mentioned, doesn't really change the way he plays all too much. That said, let's quickly use our Soul Bomb, because his Soul Bomb is nice. It's kind of cool. I like it. And even with that extra 10% devastation, we still couldn't even kill. We failed. Good lord. Running it back though, what he also did pick up on his secondary soul trait was Lacerate Duration at minus 55%. Which, you know me, if you've seen my past Resurrectable videos or whenever we talk about resurrection characters, I don't mind characters getting status summons as a secondary soul trait. I think we need more of them because there are still some, you know, combinations like strong attack damage and maybe paralysis in a certain attribute that we haven't seen be used that much. And unfortunately for his case, Lacerate Duration is not that good. The only time you ever really go against Lacerate is in Bray battles, maybe Arena, and maybe in Sankamon. And that secondary soul trait is just... you're never going to use it. There's never going to be a situation where someone like myself who does use secondary status on soul traits, I don't even ever see a use of Lacerate Duration. It's completely pointless. Because the places where you will go against it, you're never going to use strong attack damage as a secondary soul trait. Which I do want to mention, by the way, completely related. His posing in his strong attacks... look at that, man's Jojo posing. SA2, yeah, SA2 is bad. Does he pose for his SA3? Kind of. He corrects his glasses after that. I'm like, you know what? After playing with this character, which I haven't touched him in years, I'm liking his gameplay. It's not good. It could have been better had he been given Havoc, for example. But it's not the worst. It is bad, but I like it. I'm actually kind of a fan of this character. It's unfortunate I didn't really get to play with him when he first came out, you know, all those years ago, which does suck a tad bit. He's kind of fun. I could see why people played with him back in the day, but unfortunately, with a 10% increase on your Bruiser and also Devastation, it's not enough to be usable in today's age, unless you really force yourself to use this character. So, Szayelaporrro, unfortunately, did get a very bad resurrection. Gameplay-wise, didn't really see that much of a change, and as for his Link... it's not that useful. I wish it was. If it was any other status summon but Lacerate, it would have been great. Unfortunately, Lacerate Duration plus strong attack damage is not really the best combination out there. So NNOITORA up next. Now NNOITORA did actually receive a pretty good resurrection. Again, very similar to Zapro. It has that bad SA1 or that bad strong attack type. In this case, NNOITORA has its SA1, which is better than having it as an SA2, but it still kind of does suck, unfortunately. Now, NNOITORA, in terms of his resurrection, he did pick up a 20% Berserker, which definitely does go a long way. It means you are doing more damage in your strong attacks, which is, you know, never bad. It's never a bad thing. And that's really about it. He didn't get anything else other than that, but he did pick up Last Ditch Survival, plus 80% as his secondary soul trait, and keep in mind his original soul trait is 12% recharge. So as already mentioned in that video that we did go over when we talked about the first, you know, time we saw his resurrection, it's actually a really good soul trait. Not for himself, I mean, I guess it does make himself better because that extra, you know, last ditch is always going to be useful, but it's a really good link for your future hard characters. Whenever I'm using an SP character, oh, we didn't even kill that, that's tragic. Whenever I use an SP character, I'm always using recharge, right? And if I can get 12% recharge plus an extra effect, like Last Ditch, for example, that's a great combination. And I'm always going to use this NNOITORA whenever I use an SP character with recharge. Now, kit-wise, I'm not really liking this NNOITORA. Obviously, SA1 isn't really the best. I like his attacks, though. He's using the umbrella to shoot. It's kind of cool. I'm liking the visuals, too. Honestly, I haven't played these characters in a very, very long time. But I'm liking the visuals. SA3, obviously being a charged strong attack, is actually really good. Obviously, it does lack the damage and distance compared to the newer characters, but that's fine. And we actually missed. Yikes. And we didn't even kill. That's why this character is bad. Just the combination of strong attacks is not that great. You have to be really close to do damage. But I do like his SA3, because when you do fully charge it up, it has a sound effect. I'll try to be quiet next time I do it. Let's shoot SA2 there. Complete choke that. Alright, so let me charge the SA3. If you heard that, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Not going to make the same mistake as Zapro. So SA2 into the Sobo. Oi! Had the dodge skills though. We did it. Alright, so yeah, pretty decent character. Pretty okay character. Meh character. Right, I'm just correcting myself. Pretty meh character overall. His resurrection did make him better. Obviously, the 20% extra Berserker and also the Last Ditch does make him better, but it wasn't really enough. But then again, this character didn't really have much hope going for him anyway. Even he picked up like 70% Berserker and also Havoc. The character, yeah, sure, would have gone significantly better, but it's not enough. So let me do one quick more run to see if we can get a faster clear time, because we actually cleared slower than Zapro, funny enough, which is kind of shocking. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is use my SA1 into my SA3. Let's dodge that. And hopefully... the spawns are a bit of a yikes there. Alright, not too bad though. Very slow clear time, what you're going to see with this character. Actually, Zapro has a way better kit. Honestly, I kind of prefer Zapro. Like I always thought or remembered NNOITORA being better than Zapro, but I think it's the other way around, surprisingly. So we're going to use the SA1 here to push them back. Not sure that was the best thing to do. I'm not going to charge my SA3. Nice. SA3 uncharged is not too bad, to be honest. You got to be really close to do damage with that SA1. That's when it does nice. I'm kind of liking the SA2 after playing with it for a couple runs now. And then I'm going to SA1. Soul Bomb. Didn't kill, but that's fine. We don't have a Tension Tower. Keep in mind, this character is only 1 out of 5 with level 1 SP. Hopefully this kills. Bro, this guy. Okay, there we go. SA2. I wanted to use my SA2 in that last guy, but yeah, we went with this. Alright, so there'll be an enemy that spawns on our right. There we go. Lovely. An SA2 there. Nice. So yeah, I'm kind of liking this SA2. It's not the best. It's not the best, but you can make it work. So SA1 into SA3 or Soul Bomb. Dodge again. Lovely dodges. Missed my SA2 completely, but we finished off with that string. He does stuff weak in defense too, so that's alright. But again, overall character, it's just... But overall, just an okay character, right? Nothing too special. Resurrection, of course, does make him better. That extra 20% Berserker and also Last Ditch is great. But overall, not enough. But again, as I mentioned already, kit-wise wasn't the greatest, so we didn't really have much hope going for him anyway. And last but not least, we have NNOITORA, who is my favorite one of the banner, and she got really good treatment because in her resurrection, she picked up Flurry. And realistically, that's all this character needed, because when you don't have Flurry, you are lacking out on a massive damage output, right? With Flurry, what you're going to see here is that she's able to kill significantly faster, right? Because that one hit that we did there against that one enemy, that did like, what, 70% of his HP? you know, we didn't have Flurry, we wouldn't be killing as fast as this, which is great. And this stage doesn't have that many enemies with guard break, or that we need to break guard, which is also great. Because keep in mind, she does not have guard break, which is really unfortunate. But again, when it comes to characters getting their resurrections, you shouldn't be expecting characters to get guard break, right? That's not a reasonable expectation. If it ever does happen, that will be amazing. And I'd really like for that to happen. But right now, not realistic, right? Now, as to this character, yeah, she's actually really good. As you can see with our Nat string, she actually does have long reach. So even though she does lack guard break, as a character like this that does have a pretty decent damage output, again, keep in mind we only have her at level 1 attack, basically 1 out of 5. She does have a few things over new characters nowadays. Like, you know, obviously they have the high damage output, they have guard break, something that she does lack. But she has long reach. And so far, you know, like I said, when it comes to these new Nat characters, they don't get long reach nowadays. Very rarely do we get like an OP Nat character that's melee based with long reach. So she actually has the added range compared to some of those newer characters, which I guess is nice about them. Additionally, alongside with the Flurry, she did pick up Poise, which you are noticing in the gameplay definitely does help her out, because when you're using your Nat, you're going to get hit a lot. So having that Poise skill to make it so you don't stagger is going to always allow you to actually do more damage. You're never going to not be able to do damage, right, unless you get paralyzed, for example. So overall, just from the first little run right there, I'm actually pretty impressed with Nelliel's performance. And with these newfound skills, you know, Flurry and also Poise, it does make her more useful in certain content. Like, for example, with Senkamon, she can be a very good character in certain floors where she isn't a Ranka, so there's always going to be that random floor where you potentially want to bring in a Ranka. The Vortex is nice for against bosses in Senkamon. If she's ever a bonus in epic raids, which I don't think she ever will be, she's not going to be a bad character to use there. And then also in Guild Quest, you can actually use it in the Hollow Week. Now, she isn't immune to poison, which really does suck, because you want to be immune to poison for that particular week. But, you know, you can get around with that. You can get around with it. You don't really need to be immune to poison to still use them there. And as for her second soul trait, she actually did pick up low stam, plus 24%, which we aren't really getting to low stam right now, so I probably should go ahead and do that. We'll do a quick extra run after this. But the fact that our original soul trait was 25% no attack damage is great for any tech Nat character, right? 25% low stam plus 25% no attack damage is a really powerful soul trait for any tech character that's Nat based, and also, you know, herself, right? It's going to mean she can do more damage. And of course, we've recently just got a new technique character that is all about being at low stamina, that being Kurashiki. So she's actually a really good link for Kurashiki if you do want to bring him into epic raids, for example. I've been using this link on Kurashiki, and it allows him to do, you know, significantly more damage, which is great. And he actually got out of that. That's crazy. There we go. Alright, so we're going to do one more quick run and test out the damage output. Again, keep in mind, only level 1 attack. We haven't really invested into this character outside the link slots. So the damage output that we do show, it can be higher, right, if you invest into this character. Alright, so under low stamina, what you will see now is that we're hitting for like 13k on crits, which isn't bad. I think it was, what, 18k potentially there? That's actually not bad. Again, with level 10 attack, we might be hitting for like 20k, 30k even, which is great. And but right now, we're basically one-shotting things with our Nat string, with that extra low stam damage. That is great. Yeah, so for the most part, we're basically one-shotting all these mini-mobs, which is great. I kind of like it. Now, keep in mind, obviously, it's nothing too insane compared to some of the newer characters out there, but just, you know, pre-resurrection to post-resurrection, it's a massive difference. It really is. There we go. Let's Soul Bomb here. Honestly, I'm a massive fan of the Soul Bomb animation. What I would have liked is obviously her model, because she is quite an old character. Nelliel's model has gotten better over time. Would have loved to see this design on a new Nelliel model, because I'm a really big fan of this design overall. I feel like the design for all three characters is actually pretty good. Obviously, I'm just more of a I'm a Nelliel simp. I can't complain, right? So overall, Nelliel, pretty good resurrection, very good link, and as for the character, she's seen a massive damage increase, which is great for her. So for anyone out there that is actually going to use her, personally, I'm still not going to use her. You can now use her. That's the main point, right? She's now actually usable. She's nothing insane, nothing broken, but usable. So can't really complain about that. But with that said, lads, that was the video for today. Just checking out the 3 new resurrectable characters. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the outcome for this, as I did mention in my last video too. Nelliel, very good resurrection, very good link. NNOITORA and Zaporo, I didn't really have much hope for, nor did I really care how their resurrections turned out. But at the end of the day, NNOITORA is a very useful link for any Heart SP character, and a link that I will be using on every single Heart SP character. So I can't complain about that. Very good link. For Zaporo, I would have loved for him to go a different route of maybe getting full stamina damage, maybe even recharge. It would have been nice. Unfortunately, strong attack damage and lacerate is not really good combos. So Zaporo, very, very bad resurrection. So in total, I guess you've got like just a good resurrection, great resurrection, and bad resurrection. With that said though, let me know if you are going to be using any of these characters post-resurrection, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.